Hey Daniel, you're tired of pretending you're okay. Yeah, I'm talking directly to the version of you that puts on a brave face for others but crumbles behind closed doors. You keep telling yourself you'll do better next time, stay calm, draw boundaries, stay disciplined. Yet it all falls apart again. One trigger and you blow up. One rejection and you spiral into chaos. One mistake and you shrink back. Every time you end up questioning yourself. Why can't I keep control? Most folks just wake up and immediately surrender their peace to whatever the day throws at them. One bad message can ruin their entire mood. One person's judgment can crush their confidence. One failure can wipe out their motivation altogether. This is how the average person lives, like a puppet, pulled by unseen strings they never question. But the Stoics lived differently. They trained their minds like warriors. To them, the real battle wasn't on some distant battlefield. It was within. Their enemy wasn't other people. It was their own uncontrolled desires, fears, and impulses. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, taught that true freedom doesn't come from changing the world but from mastering how you respond to it. When someone insults him, he didn't explode. When he lost something, he didn't fall apart. Because he understood that the one thing no one could ever take from him was his mindset. This is where your real power begins. The reason your emotions control you is because no one ever showed you how to guard the gates of your mind. Nobody ever told you that staying calm amid chaos is a skill. That choosing silence when you're screaming inside is strength. That walking away when your pride gets triggered is victory. The Stoics, they knew these things. And they left behind tough, clear, practical wisdom, not just theories but real tools to master yourself in everyday emotional battles. This isn't about sounding wise or memorizing quotes. It's about becoming the person who remains unshaken even when faced with disrespect, betrayal, setbacks, and chaos. So I want you to lock in right now, turn off all distractions, and open your mind wide. Because each of these 8 brutal Stoic truths will break apart a part of your weakness and show you how to replace it with genuine power. Some truths might sting, but that's exactly why they work. By the time you finish watching, you'll have the mental tools to walk through life with a quiet, commanding presence you had some call Stoic dominance. A presence that doesn't need to shout but is understood the moment you step into a room. But before we get started, drop this affirmation in the comments. I refuse to be a slave to my emotions. Let's go. Number 1. Train your emotions before they train you. If you're upset by something external, a setback, criticism, or rejection, the pain isn't in the thing itself. It's in how you interpret it. And that interpretation is something you can revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius once said that most of our suffering comes from our own judgments, not the events themselves. Most people believe their emotions are facts. They feel anger, so they lash out. They feel fear, so they avoid. They feel rejected, so they obsess or sink into depression. But Stoicism teaches us, your emotions are signals, not directives. If you let them dictate your actions, they'll make you weak, reactive, and unstable. But if you train them, you become invulnerable. Picture this. Someone insults you and your pride flares up. Heart races, chest heats up, adrenaline surges. The urge to fight back, to prove you're worthy, to argue. That's emotion trying to leash you like a dog. Now imagine stopping. You notice that heat, name the feeling, and pause. Then ask yourself, is this worth my energy? And walk away. You're not becoming passive, you're becoming powerful. That's exactly what Marcus Aurelius did when enemies provoked him. He didn't return insults. He kept his calm because he knew his true victory wasn't external, it was maintaining peace inside. In today's world, with constant trigger social media insults, disrespect in relationships, rejections, daily stress, if you don't train your response intentionally, the world will train you to be miserable. Training your emotions is simple but profound. Pause before reacting, observe before judging, respond with purpose rather than impulse. That doesn't mean you suppress feelings. It means you don't let feelings control you. Start small. Next time someone disrespects you, don't respond immediately. Let silence be your reply. That silence will shake them more than any angry retort ever could. The real alpha energy isn't in loudness or aggression. It's in quiet control, knowing when to hold back when you could blow up. The modern world respects this because, deep down, everyone recognizes that the strongest person isn't the loudest, they are the one holding power inside. Practice this daily. Your mind is a muscle. Every time you override a negative emotion with logic and composure, you grow stronger. Eventually, nothing can shake you. The day you can say, "I felt it, but I didn't act on it," that's when you've truly mastered yourself. Number 2, don't react. Observe first, then choose power. We suffer more in imagining worst-case scenarios than in reality. Seneca once pointed out how many times we've spoiled our peace just by assuming what others meant. How often have you jumped to conclusions, made up stories in your head, and reacted emotionally to regret it later? This is where most people trip. Something happens, a message, a silence, a rejection, a look, and immediately, your mind runs wild. They're ignoring me, they don't respect me, I'm not enough. And that storm takes over. But the Stoics taught something brutal. Don't trust the first story your mind spins. Instead, pause, observe, investigate. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, taught that most of our suffering doesn't come from the events themselves, but from how we interpret those events. Your pain and frustration are often illusions, products of your mind. Let's put this into practical terms. Number 1, if someone doesn't reply to your message, your instinct is to assume they're ignoring you. You spiral, send more messages, and now you look desperate. A Stoic would pause and ask, what do I really know? Maybe they're busy. Maybe it's not about me. Maybe I don't need to respond right now. Number 2, when criticized, your impulse is to defend yourself fiercely. But a Stoic response is there truth here? If yes, improve. If no, let it go. No need to fight over every word. Number 3, if someone disrespects you in public, most people lash out. But the wise person stays silent, not because they're weak, but because they know that reacting gives that other person power. Refusing to give that away is true strength. Every situation offers 2 choices. React emotionally and regret either, observe calmly and choose power. Our society moves fast. Everyone's on edge. Triggers are everywhere. But the one who can slow their mind down and reflect gains the upper hand. Think of your mind as a courtroom. Emotions bring evidence, but you're the judge, not the prisoner. You don't have to believe every thought or act on every feeling. You decide which emotions deserve your energy. Train yourself. When you feel heat rising, stop and observe. Don't speak or react impulsively. Sit with the discomfort. Let it pass like a wave. Only then decide, is this worth my energy? That's when you take back your power. That's true self-mastery. Number 3, cut the noise. Your mind is starving for stillness. Nowhere can a man find a more peaceful retreat than within himself. Marcus Aurelius understood this. Here's why you're anxious. Not always because of your problems, but because you never give your mind a chance to breathe. From the moment you wake up, the noise begins: notifications, scrolling feeds, opinions, music, ads, demands. And by night, your mind has become a battlefield, not because of what's outside, but because of the chaos you've allowed inside. Marcus Aurelius, even as emperor of a vast empire in turmoil, found peace not through luxury or distraction, but through retreating into silence and stillness. He journaled quietly, sit quietly with his thoughts, shut out the noise. He chose stillness. That was his power. This is where Stoicism becomes more than words. It becomes a practice for breathing in a world that never stops talking. Look around. Everyone's addicted to stimulation. Silence frightens them. Stillness makes them uncomfortable. So they chase entertainment, gossip, endless scrolling, all just distractions to avoid facing themselves. Meanwhile, the Stoic willingly heads into silence, into reflection, because they know clarity is born there. Want to master yourself? You need space to hear your own voice. Here's what to do. 1. Carve out daily moments of stillness, just 10 minutes. No phone, no noise, just you. Sit, breathe, let your mind settle. 2. Journal honestly about your day. Don't write flowery words, just reflect. What triggered me today? What did I avoid? Marcus Aurelius did this each day. His journal became meditations, some of the greatest philosophical writings ever. 3. Guard your mental space fiercely. Be selective about what you consume. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be available to everyone. Say no more often. Unfollow the noise. Your mind isn't a trash bin for the world's junk. It's a sacred temple that needs regular cleaning. Stillness helps you meet yourself, face your fears, and stop lying to yourself. It's uncomfortable but always powerful. And in that quiet you realize you don't need more advice. You need more awareness. And awareness only comes when you turn down the volume of everything else. Don't fear silence, embrace it. That's where transformation begins. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my peace. Silence is my strength. Number 4. Stop explaining yourself. Power doesn't chase understanding. Don't give in to the need to justify. Live your truth through your actions. Epictetus said that most people are caught in a silent addiction, need to be understood. They explain their intentions, justify their boundaries, defend their silence, and over-explain their choice-string to feel validated. But that's emotional slavery. When you constantly explain yourself, you give away your power. You open the door for judgment, dissection, approval, none of which truly define your worth. Instead, speak through your actions. Let your character stand so solid that it doesn't need a defense. When you stop chasing understanding, you stop walking away from your authentic self. Think about a lion explaining why it hunts. It wouldn't. Mountains don't apologize for standing tall. Their existence justifies their strength. The same applies to you. When you let go of constant explanations, here's what happens. 1. You don't drain your energy trying to convince others who weren't meant to understand you. 2. You carry yourself with quiet confidence, not loud desperation. 3. You learn to trust your choice. 7. If others don't see your reason. But here's the hard truth most won't tell you. This path is lonely. You'll be misunderstood. People will misread your silence. They'll label your confidence as arrogance. They'll misinterpret your distance as hostility. And you've got to accept that, because true self-mastery means choosing inner peace over public approval. Reflect on this. How many times have you watered yourself down just to avoid being seen as too much? How often have you stayed silent, then felt guilty and explained yourself just to keep others comfortable? That's over now. You owe no one explanation, so your authenticity is enough. The Stoics believed real strength is quiet, not because it's hiding, but because it no longer needs permission to exist. Let your silence do the talking. Let your results be proof of your worth. Let your values be obvious without a single word. And when someone questions you, don't flinch. Those who matter understand you without needing explanations. The rest can be left behind. Your time is too precious, your energy too sacred, your purpose too vital to waste explaining yourself to those who aren't ready to receive your truth. Walk forward quietly with confidence. Number 5. Let people go. Mastery means releasing dead weight. As Epictetus said, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things he lacks but rejoices for what he has. People change, relationships fade, and sometimes they end altogether. Every time that happens, there's that painful pull to hold on, to fix, to understand why they left or why it all feels different now. But here's the brutal Stoic truth. If something or someone can leave your life, let it go. Don't chase after it. Don't plead. Don't try to force it. Just gently detach. Epictetus taught that you don't own people, you experience them. Some come into your life to teach you how much stronger you can be without them. When you tie your identity to others' approval or presence, you lose yourself. You depend on their validation, their love, their attention. And when it's gone, you feel broken and lost. But that feeling isn't about them. It's about the parts of yourself you handed over without boundaries. Stoicism brings you back to yourself. It reminds you, what was meant for you can never truly be taken, and what can be taken was never truly yours. This doesn't mean you become cold. It means you become conscious. You give your love freely but not blindly. You invest your energy but not endlessly. When the time comes, you release what no longer aligns with your growth. No bitterness, no revenge, no clinging. Letting go isn't weakness, it's clarity. You don't need closure, you need discipline. You don't need answers, you need acceptance. You don't need them back. You need to be whole, healed, and moving forward. The moment you stop constantly grieving over lost connections and start reclaiming the pieces of yourself you once gave away, everything shifts. Let go of people who made you feel like you had to shrink to be loved. Cut ties with relationships where respect was one-sided. Release friendships that have died because your needs weren't being met. And most important, let go of the old version of yourself that tolerated it. Self-mastery is choosing your well-being even when it hurts. So if someone's drifting away, don't chase. Let silence do its work. If someone disrespects you, don't argue at your absence, speak louder. And when something leaves your life, do so peacefully in strength, in peace, trusting that nothing real ever truly leaves. Number 6, discipline is true freedom. Build routines as a warrior would. No one is truly free if they're not the master of themselves. Epictetus knew this. Most people believe freedom is doing whatever they want, whenever they want, sleeping late, eating what they crave, skipping hard tasks, delaying growth. They call it freedom. But the Stoics understood the opposite. Real freedom isn't in reckless abandon. It's in controlling your desires. Picture waking up early not because you have to, but because your mind is trained to serve your goals. Doing the tough workouts, reading difficult books, having uncomfortable conversations even when you don't feel like it, that's discipline. That's control. And that's freedom. Because a person who cannot say no to their impulses is a slave of laziness, of emotion, of distraction. The Stoics were generals of the mind. Their daily routines weren't motivated by motivation, but by choice. Repeated choices become habits, and habits form your identity. Marcus Aurelius governed an empire but still journaled every morning. He reflected, held himself accountable. Why? Because no matter how powerful, without structure, you're lost. Want self-mastery? Build it into your schedule. Here's how. First, establish a morning ritual just for you. No show, no social media. Wake up, sit silently, read something that sharpens your mind, stretch your body, write your thoughts. Do this daily. Second, plan your day based on your values, not fleeting feelings. Instead of asking, what do I feel like doing? Ask, what needs to be done, and do it with focus. Third, track your behavior and reflect. At night, ask, where did I waste time? When did I react emotionally? How can I do better tomorrow? Discipline isn't comfortable at first, but it makes you confident. It builds trust in yourself because you no longer let laziness, fear, or distraction run your show. Instead, you move purposefully, choosing discomfort now for strength later. And the world notices. Your reputation shifts. Your presence becomes sharper. You carry an energy that says, I don't fold under pressure because I train for discomfort daily. Start small. Wake up at the same time every day, stretch for 10 minutes, read one page, clean your space. Do it consistently. Discipline isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about creating a fortress inside something stronger than any excuse. Because if you won't train yourself, life will do it for you with failure, regret, and lost potential. And you definitely don't want that. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am not led by comfort. I choose discipline. Number 7, master the art of detachment. Love without losing yourself. It's impossible for happiness and craving what isn't present to ever truly coexist. Epictetus said it best. We all seek connection, love, respect. That's natural, but most people get it wrong. They tie their identity to those things. They don't just want love, they depend on it. And when it's gone, they fall apart. The Stoics warned us against this attachment. They said that external things, money, relationships, status, approval, are beyond our control. The more you depend on them, the more they control your peace. Detachment isn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about being anchored. It means you can love deeply and fully, yet remain steady if that love leaves. You can succeed greatly and stay grounded if success slips away. It means you feel, but you're not ruled by your feelings. Let's say you love someone intensely, that's beautiful. But if that love becomes your identity, if their mood controls yours, if their distance destroys you, or if your self-worth depends on their attention, that's not love. It's dependency. That's not mastery, that's reliance. The Stoic approach: love completely, give with your whole heart, but remember, this is a gift, not a guarantee. Keep that in mind and you'll stay balanced. Stay grounded. Practicing detachment is simple. 1. Remind yourself daily that nothing is permanent, not relationships, emotions, or situations. Enjoy what you have but don't need it. 2. Ask yourself honestly, what will I do if this is taken away? If your answer is, I'll fall apart, then you've given it too much power. 3. Give space, not control. Let people be who they are. Let circumstances unfold naturally. Influence where you can, release what you can't control. When you stop clinging, people will respect you more because they feel that you're self-contained. You become less easy to manipulate or emotionally enslave. That's what Stoic detachment offers: freedom combined with love, not fear, strength in connection, not anxiety. Number 8. Embrace voluntary hardship. Train yourself in peace, master chaos. Pick certain days where you're content with the bare minimum, the simplest essentials. Ask yourself, is this the condition I once feared? Seneca believed comfort kills you slowly, quietly dulling your strength. The modern world makes living easy: fast food, endless entertainment, distractions, all designed to keep you soft. But that softness weakens your mind. When genuine difficulty strikes in, it always does. You'll fall apart if you've never practiced hardship. Seneca believed in embracing voluntary discomfort, not out of hatred for pleasure, but to avoid addiction. Once a month, live like you have nothing. Eat little, sleep on the ground, wear rough clothes, go without comforts. The goal isn't suffering, it's to strip away the fear of hardship. When you deliberately face discomfort, those fears shrink. If you fear going broke, try living on less. If you fear loneliness, seek silence. If you're afraid of being ignored, spend time alone. If you worry about judgment, stay away from praise. Facing these fears actively makes them smaller. Here's how to practice. 1. Deny yourself something easy once a week. Skip dessert. Cook simple meals. Walk instead of drive. Turn off your phone for a day. Feel uncomfortable and watch your strength grow. 2. Set comfort boundaries. Sleep less comfortably. Sit in stillness. Delay gratification. Get used to not always having what you want and learn to be okay with it. 3. Turn every challenge into training. A bad day, rejection, loss, see them as opportunities to grow stronger. Remind yourself, I've been preparing for this. The Stoics weren't born unshakable, they trained for it. You can too. Building self-mastery isn't about avoiding pain. It's about meeting pain with open eyes and a determined heart. Because the truth is, you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how ready you are when it does. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I train in discomfort. Nothing can break me. It's not that we have little time, we'll waste a lot of it. Seneca pointed out that life isn't short, it's often poorly used. You've just uncovered 8 brutal truths, real ancient Stoic tools tested through time. These are not motivational fluff, but hard-won strategies for handling hardship. They teach you how to control your emotions, operate in silence, protect your peace, and release what weighs you down. They show how detachment, discipline, and embracing discomfort can transform you into someone rare, not just appearing strong, but being strong at your core. And the best part, these aren't reserved for emperors or philosophers. They are for you, right here, right now. You don't need a perfect past. You don't need constant motivation. You don't need permission. What you need is practice with regular repetition of awareness and the courage to live differently. To step away from the noise and start building your inner fortress. Start simple. Revisit one lesson daily. Journal your reactions. Sit with your discomfort. And keep asking yourself, am I ruled by emotion or guided by wisdom? That single question can change everything. If this message resonates, don't just scroll past. Use it. Take action. Because wisdom without action is nothing. Like this video, drop your thoughts below, share it with someone who needs to rise, and subscribe if you're serious about becoming someone the world can't shake. Now take a deep breath. You are no longer reacting, explaining, or chasing comfort. You're mastering yourself, like a true Stoic. And I want you to leave this final affirmation in the comments. I walk through this world with quiet strength.